It was great to work with Ben and Gavin. You know, Gavin's been one of my favorite directors. Warrior is one of my favorite movies. So to have the opportunity to work with him was great already, and then add Ben Affleck into the whole equation just made it that much better. Because everybody has an underdog story in their life. You know, one point or another, it was the trials and tribulations that you have to kind of fight through and overcome. And sports movies are reminiscent of that. That we're all human. We all go through mistakes. We all need help to, come back. And if people lead with love, we can help those who need help most, and they can overcome it. And in turn, maybe it can help us.
Gavin was the reason I got excited for this movie. Gavin was the person that gave me confidence that this movie was going to be, something that I could believe in. I read the script, and I think I had this perception already in my mind about sports films. I was like, oh, it's going to be a cliche sports movie. But then when I got to the callback with Gavin, I was like, oh, this isn't going to be a cliche sports movie. He was open. He was open from the jump and very welcoming and very genuine. So I didn't feel at all that he was going to make this anything cliche, or I trusted it. And working with Ben was constantly generous. And I was quiet a lot shooting in the movie and shooting the movie, but you could just feel he was always there, and he was always answering questions that everyone had, and he was always very generous. And in our one-on-one scenes together, Ben he was always giving. There's coverage, so even if they're getting my side and he's not even on the camera, he's always completely in it and just always giving every moment. So it was just, I couldn't ask for anything else. Everyone's been there. Everyone's been in that position where they don't even have faith in themselves or have confidence in themselves that they can reach this thing. But so to be able to see someone come from this and to climb that ladder that's painted as this impossible feat, it's it gives someone a little bit of hope. It gives someone, it lights a little bit of a fire in you that you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. I can take another step and see what happens. I can take another step and see what happens.
Ben Affleck was a pleasure to work with. He taught every single one of us, I think, a different thing. And I think every single one of us walked away with something different by the end of the film. For me, I think he taught me to never lose the joy in acting and to never lose the pleasure in the craft, because once you do that, then it becomes a job, right? And you never want to be doing a job, you want to just be having fun. And that's also something Gavin O'Connor said, the director. He said, he tells his wife when he leaves for work every day, all right, I'm going to work, or she says, have fun at work, and he says, I'm not going to work, I'm going to play. And I think that's something that you really got to keep in mind, is that what you're doing for your profession needs to be what you love. And I think he taught all of us that. Everybody wants the underdog to do it. I think just in life, it's not fun when the person that is supposed to win wins. You know what I mean? I guess there's exceptions, like LeBron James. You see, he's the greatest basketball player ever. Him and Michael Jordan, and when they win, it's just amazing because they're the greatest. But in general, you want to see that comeback. You want to see that underdog that wasn't supposed to make it, that wasn't supposed to, do anything and prove you wrong. And that's what March Madness is all about. That's why we love when Duke loses to, number 15 Mercer or whatever in the brackets in the first round. And yeah, I just think that's why people get such a joy out of watching underdogs. I think audiences should take away a story of redemption, of hope. I think a lot of people may go into this thinking, oh, this is just, a Hoosiers, Mighty Ducks, your typical sports film, and then halfway through it, they're going to be like, oh, wow, this is some real stuff. This is a really an amazing, powerful, moving story of redemption.
Gavin O'Connor, man, he's really easy to work with. I watched some of his movies that he's done, and I kind of got a little intimidated until I worked with him. I'm thinking it's going to be something complicated. He's so easy to work with, plays it simple. Great at giving direction. He's a great leader, and I had such an amazing time working with both of them. The greatest experience of my life. Not everybody can relate to hitting a last-minute shot, a game-winning shot. I know I can't, but I know that people can relate to adversity, tribulation, overcoming obstacles in daily lives. We always face something every day. So when you see somebody, overcome and struggle, I don't know, it does something to humans, seeing somebody come from the bottom and work their way up, because we all can relate to it, and it gives us a special feeling inside that makes us feel like we can accomplish anything. The main message I would probably say is that if you have the right support system around you, around people that love you, and you have the mental determination and dedication to do something, you can overcome anything, anything that you want to do. Growing up as a kid, I heard that a lot of people told me you need to fix your ways now, because when you're 30 years old, that you kind of get stuck in your own ways. I think that's nonsense. You know what I mean? I think at any age, at any time, if you have the mental ability, you can overcome anything. And there's a second chance, and no matter what age, it is possible. You can overcome anything.
I think it has another layer of redemption to it. Ben's character has undergone some tragedies in his life, and so in addition to all the sports material, there's also a personal story that sort of lays over it all, which I think really makes it just a unique, rich movie. It was interesting when Ben and I read the script. Originally, they had sent it to him to see if he'd also be interested in directing it, and he was like, the first person he thought of was Gavin, and then it turned out Gavin had already read the script and was really passionate about it, so it felt very karmically meant to be. But I think obviously Gavin's done Warrior and Miracle, and obviously he knows the sports world well. They made The Accountant together, which is a very different movie, but they had a great time together, so it all just it really lined up perfectly. It's a real, look at having a second chance in life. It's about redemption. It's about teamwork, and it's about the camaraderie that the way sports bring people together in a way that almost nothing else can.